I like the format. I think it opens up a lot of spontaneous discussion. I had a chance to sit next to some very talented people who shared their thoughts that I don't think would otherwise really be shared in another format.
It is more than an exchange of ideas. It is actually giving us some more new directions.
I enjoy the roundtable format. I think it's refreshing rather than just being presented to.
I love it. I think it's been very interactive. I think the unscripted, not having PowerPoint presentations is a great way to be able to ask you very specific questions. Very helpful for me.
It allows the audience to give direction to the discussion so that the outcome is in the most benefit to them.
The amount of information I got and from everybody else is much more than what I would have done by myself.
You have informal discussion in a formal setting. Cancer is a very complex disease. There are complex issues, new techniques. I think this opens up a lot of communication with many different companies.
Well, it is pretty high and pretty good.
There are some very good people who were in attendance here, from whom others could learn quite well, including me. So I thought that made it very good. So the quality of who you were able to get to come made it worthwhile to sit there and listen to other people's thoughts, which isn't necessarily a given. So I thought that was quite good.
I think there's a broad mix of participants, from people with practical knowledge close to the technical issues that need to be dealt with, as well as people in more managerial positions that have more of a 1,000-foot view of the issues.
It's been great. We met a lot of colleagues and peers in other biotech and pharma companies. I think that has a lot of advantages from just a personal networking perspective, but also knowing what other companies are thinking and approaching regulatory aspects and the clinical trial design and so on.
The people were quite senior. They knew their subject very well. They knew what questions to ask. So in that way it was very useful.
People are very senior in their organization and who clearly see the benefit of attending these meetings.
I think I like the cross-functional mixture, different people, different backgrounds, different level of experience.
I think there were people from director all the way up to executive VPs from the company, so I get to really interact with a wide range of participants.
The one-to-one meetings formats are very important because at the end we also need to connect with people in the industry, with potential vendors who can help us.
I like that you were able to pre-select, the optionality of selecting partners that you could talk to was very helpful. I was specifically looking for people with biostatistical analysis expertise, and found 2 companies here that can provide that type of services. So for me, I like the optionality of picking who to talk to, and it's not like an AACR conference with 20,000 people and a booth there. You're not going to talk to the right person anyway.
That is quite good, because this it changes. Straight talk always give us idea.
I think this is very helpful, and such meetings, if they are more and more, we'll have more collaboration, because in this era nobody can work alone. You all have to work together.
Yeah, that was perfect for us, because the trouble is, if you're in a big group, it's very difficult to form that relationship. We've been to lots of other types of conferences, and I've actually stopped going. I never do anything like that, because you find you go and talk to people and they don't want to talk to you. But if they've actually made the active decision to come and talk to us, that's the best thing, because they've already heard a little bit about us with the pre-organisation of the meeting. So they know they want to talk to us. So it's a much better warm introduction, if you like, rather than just going up to someone who doesn't know you, and you don't feel pushy at all because they've come to see you. So that one-to-one way of approaching it was perfect for us.
It's nice. It's brief. Doesn't feel forced, and I think it makes for a very easy transaction with the vendors.
I like the one-to-one format and the fact that they were prepared to present what they wanted in a concise format.
Was very helpful. I attended 2 one-to-one meetings today. We work with a lot of vendors, we work with a lot of CROs. I just met someone who has come from Germany, and what they presented to me was a very new concept of doing clinical trials, so something that I'm very interested in really exploring more.
Through the connections you make with service providers and also potentially collaborators and peers, it's, you're going to be inspired by this, and if you get 1 or 2 collaborations out of this or contracts with a CRO, I think it will be very successful.
It gave me a slightly different perspective than what I knew before coming to this meeting, because these are the experts of their areas.
I've definitely taken away specific references that I'll go and look up myself or take back to my team.
It also helps us to understand different angles to the same issues, and because this industry is so complex, it's important to understand the overall spectrum.
This is not like all other meetings that we go to. So it really helps us to develop new collaborations, new areas of research, and the most important beneficiary for this is the patients who are the sufferers, and this is the goal, is to improve the healthcare.
How we can save the time, how we can save the money, and how we can help the patient population. All of them is going to come together because of these discussions.
Yeah, it was pretty good for us, because what we got with the decision makers, what we got with the people that we would interact with when we do an RFP or a proposal, who would decide whether to work with us or not as a CRO. So they were the people we got to meet, and they were the people that we really formed a relationship with, and we think we're going to get some really good follow-up from this meeting.
Well, they're very helpful in reminding me of basic principles, and there are some best practices that I think are coming out from the discussions that will be helpful to share when I return.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yes, I would be interested in participating again.
I would love to, yeah, it's been great.
I got a good range of both technical information and also meeting with the vendors. I was able to relate it to some of the work I'm going to take back to my office. So I would consider attending the meeting, yes.
Yeah, absolutely. I've already got plans to come again, and not just to the US but also to Europe. I think this is a great way for us to meet people that we can really partner with.
I've come here many times and I'll continue to come.
I'm sure, and I've been participating in these meetings for the past 3 years.